Today's episode is brought to you by Dilly Company. Are you looking for some cool, comfy pickleball gear and clothes for everyone? Dilly Company. Check out today's episode for a special promo code. Practicing. I'm on television today.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host.
Slurp it.
Slurp it. All right.
All right.
Slurp it real good.
I was just trying to fill the empty space. That was okay. Silence. Yeah.
Slurp it real good. Cheers.
Baby,
Podcast
baby.
Dustin, Melissa, Andy. Above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa, California.
Mm-hmm.
Avril, is that you downstairs? Avril? I always say it wrong.
Avril's downstairs.
Avril's downstairs. No, she's not. Avril,
She was.
great podcaster.
She was.
Great listener, great backseater, great patron. We're coming to Salt Lake in September. I'll see you then. People, Mel pointed out, we've got some backseaters now who they come to San Diego and they're like, you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to Public Square Coffee. Is it a little outside of town? Yes. I'm going to give you a heads up right now. If you're staying, where are they staying when they're here? Well, it depends. Gaslamp.
Circle.
Hotel Circle?
Circle.
Okay, Hotel Circle.
Mission Bay.
Okay, let's go. If you're staying in Hotel Circle, we're 11 minutes, right?
That's fair.
Hotel Circle's piece of cake. You're going the right direction for traffic. If you're staying in Gaslamp, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are on a beach, 20, 25. You're a little bit more inland. If you're North County, who stays? You don't come in vacation in
Some
North
people
County.
go to Carlsbad.
Well, Carlsbad
But-
don't come down here.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no one's going to be at Carlsbad and be like, I'm going to go to La Mesa.
Yeah. That's a Carlsbad idea.
Hey.
Up top, yeah. You guys, Mel and I were dragging a lot last week. We were Puff the Magic Dragon.
Okay, so really it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Facebook group.
You guys' time is not real anyways. It's an illusion.
It's all fake.
Yeah, it's certainly not linear.
So 2 weeks ago we were dragging, and then the second pod, which comes out tomorrow, if it comes out tomorrow, is going to be very punchy, and then this one's going to be in between.
Well, we don't know that.
I've already decided. Yeah.
You decided in advance.
It's giving mids.
It's giving mids. Today, chronologically, in the reality that we live in, that's all that.
In this game of life.
Oh man.
There's nothing I hate more than selling myself.
Melissa,
I can't do it.
I told Mel.
I
was like,
I'm amazed and blown away.
Yeah.
That is the last thing I could ever do.
Right.
Every piece of me, despises it.
It is hard, but
I'm just amazed you can do it.
Well, you got to get over it. You don't have to get over it. I had to get over it because
it's part of being an entrepreneur, and
it's certainly part of being in my line of work because I'm going to be on TV tonight. This will be my Laughs, Heart of the City, Opry, 2 Cordons. This will be like my 8th or 9th television appearance. No less than 100 no's in that time.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah. I mean, those are no's. Those don't even count non-responses,
Yeah,
just from
no's.
TV bookers, from club bookers, I'll never forget when go ahead.
Sorry, it's probably just a muscle, that you gotta exercise and get used to, but I don't know, it's tough.
It is tough, but
you were saying bookers. But,
well, I mean, it's rejection. It's let me see if I can find something actually. Rejection is part of it, but the good thing about rejection is it helps you refine why you wanted something. Yeah. So, you think about you want something so bad. You want I want this more, and then you don't get it, and now you have to learn to live without it. So the healthiest thing that you could do is go, why did I want this? And then do I actually need this? And that's what it's been for me, at least. You want a thing so bad. You want to, and in my opportunity, I'm in such a hyper competitive world and a visually competitive world where people compare me to my peers and my peers are compared to me constantly.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of messages that I got being, how come you haven't been on After Midnight yet? You know, like my friend's show, like, and like, that's just what we do. That when you don't get it, you just go, oh man, why did I want that so bad? Was it because of good reasons, bad reasons, mixed? Was it vanity?
Mixed, yeah.
Was it so I could feel better about who I am as a person? Was it so I could feel more successful? A lot of time, was it so I could have this external validation to show to people that I'm good enough and you don't have to worry about me or I'm worth something? So, I mean, rejection is and it is so cliche. It's so cliche. But unfortunately, loss and rejection is the best way to grow. It sucks, but it's true.
Just pain is the best teacher.
Unfortunately, it's a bad model.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the romance of failure. It's baseball.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's like it's that whole tension of why do you love it, and then when you get it, nothing beats the feeling, and it's like you chase it like a dragon.
The Swiss Army romance of failure, right?
Extreme success.
You're exactly. No, you're exact. I saw. Gosh, what was it? There was some. Who had Foster the People? All the other and then pumped up. And so I had that popped up in my feed the other day.
The whistle.
One of the great whistle songs. Top whistle song, right? It's up there with Sitting by the Dock on the Bay is the #1 whistle song. Peter Bjorn and John is probably, right up there. I missed that one a little, but I'm mixing it.
I heard all the other kids.
That's the Foster Kid.
No,
That's Foster
Peter
People.
Bjorn is. If I told you things I said before.
Oh, right. Yeah. Crazy similar.
I know the start of it's very similar.
If you are I know the Peter Bjorn song, but if you have Foster the People anywhere in your mind, you cannot get to. You can't. There's a block that I can't get to. Great whistle song. But somebody said, because it was their appearance on like Letterman or Craig Ferguson or one of the late nights, and gosh, they were so good. I'd never seen them look like they had great.
Live.
They had a good look, a good feel. And someone was like, it's a shame this band never took off. And one of the top comments was like, dude, this is one of the biggest songs of the 2000s. And they had 2 or 3 great albums after this. That's a great run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone's going to be like Pearl Jam.
No. I mean, even
outlast decades
but
and decades.
Who were their contemporaries, like MGMT and or whatever, and they stayed bands. They kind of popped right around the time.
Franz Ferdinand, Block Party, Metric.
But Arctic Monkeys were around the same. But Arctic Monkeys is still one of the biggest bands in the world, you know? So there are some of their Cage. Cage was right around.
You have to realize some of these bands, American mindset forgets how big some of these bands are around the world.
France in particular. Franz Ferdinand.
These bands go to Europe and crush headlining stages.
Just because
they're not big.
They're not getting a lot of radio play.
Yeah, specifically.
Arctic Monkeys are gigantic. They're fantastic. So
Gang of Youth.
Not the
is
band,
one of the
animal. There is an Arctic Monkey. They are huge. They are huge. Oh, I had a dream that I was drowning in Arctic waters last night. Yeah, good time. Really special. So.
No one slept in our house.
We have to talk about our night last night. So, so I roll in.
9 p.m.
Yeah, I'm rolling 9, and we'll talk about. We got lots to talk about. We have a Syracuse weekend recap. New York. Mel's had domestic bliss herself. It was a good time. I get home. I land at. Here's the thing. I was like, okay, I need to get a little hair trim and a face situation. Any of the watchers right now are like, well, the mustache looks specifically good. It's because my boy Adrian took care of me over at Wise's Barbershop in La Mesa. They moved to a new location. So, which is great. It's a much better location.
Sweet.
And
Well, you were gonna get it done in Syracuse, and it just didn't.
It just didn't work out. The one place they had that I would
let
do it. So I text my boy and I was like, Adrian, can you do it? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So we go. So I land. I literally get a rental car because we're going up to LA, and I kind of just need a vehicle for the next couple days because we get multiple drivers in our house. So I land, I get a rental car, I drive there. He said, and then now I get home at like 8:30, 8:45. I lay Claire down. Claire's got a little cough situation. It's amazing how it's without fail. As soon as a break is over, a kid is sick. Are they really sick? I don't know. But I know they don't want to go back to school.
Yeah, she's a theater kid, so she went on quite the show last night.
This girl hasn't been in school for 3 weeks because she had the theater break and then 2 weeks of spring break.
Yeah.
And you're like, you haven't done anything that could get you sick. You rested all weekend. And they're like, come on.
Yeah,
all right, dial it back a little. Nobody coughs like that.
She's been resting.
They sound like Zoolander. Like, the black lung. Yeah, black lung.
Black lung pop.
You're like, when you're really sick.
You're fine.
Here's how I know you're not sick. Because when you're really sick, you don't cough and then go.
When you're really sick, you just kind of like stare at the wall.
Yeah. When you're really sick, that's true. When you're really sick, you just zone out. All you can think about when you're actually sick, all you can think about is how I don't want to be sick. And when you're fake sicking, all you can think about is I don't want to go to school.
Proving that you're sick.
Proving that you're sick. It's so funny. You're like, is it more of like does it sound like a walrus or?
Is it a dry or a wet cough?
I
could never tell.
Thank you.
17 years later.
Give me better tips, doctor, of how to describe the cough of my child. Does it sound more like a seal or a walrus?
That's a nurse on a call line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this more of like a seal? Or has it got like kind of like a camel spit sound to it? Where on the dry, wet spectrum is your child's cough?
Singer of a metal band.
Yeah.
It's just like they're coughing?
Yeah. Here's what it actually sounds like. Forced and trying to get out of school. That's what it actually sounds like. Mm-hmm. We're driving to school, and they're bringing up the nurse's office already.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
Both of our daughters are telling us how they're going to visit the nurse today.
So, anyways, I come home. I tell Mel, we're having a beer tonight. We're having one beer, and we're like looking forward to it. We got to pack. We got a quick turnaround because we're going to LA tonight. And she takes forever to fall asleep. Mm-hmm. All right. And it's hard to get back in the rhythm of school and stuff. And then we're packing. We get to bed later than we want to, but we got stuff to do. And then the child takes a while to go to sleep. So around 3 a.m., I wake up with a nightmare that I'm drowning in Arctic waters. Does it mean anything? I don't believe my dreams are too silly to mean anything. So, and then I wake up and I was like, well, that's not ideal. I also had a bad night the night before. I'm in and out of time zones. It doesn't matter. But and then I hear a ding, a text, and I was like, who's texting? Like, there's no way that Mel and I both have our phones on sleep mode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The only texts that can go through are each other and our kids.
Yes.
So I go and check my phone. There's no notification on my phone. Now I'm looking for your phone. Mm-hmm. Your phone was not on the charger last night.
Really?
Your phone was lying on the floor, uncharged. I don't know what happened. Did you plug it in before you went to bed?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe the NyQuil hit hard.
I didn't even have any NyQuil.
Oh, that's right. You did. So
No.
It's like under the bed. I have no idea.
Oh, maybe when the thing broke. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I
don't know.
suplexed Mel on the bed last night, and we broke the little stands that they're on.
We have a very old bed.
Yeah. That's not code for anything, by the way. That's not. No, it was a legit suplex.
I sent you that meme of like wrestlers.
Yes.
And it was
ADHD
like ADHD
before they go to bed.
ADHD kids before they go to bed, and then
I responded,
replied,
kids? No, I get hyped before bed. But anyways.
I was just trying to pack, and that's probably how I lost my phone because it went under the bed.
You must not have known where your phone was when you went to bed last night.
No, I had it on sleep and everything. So
it was on the ground.
I don't know how that happened.
Well,
but
regardless.
Packing. Yeah. Anyway.
Did one of our kids sneak in and extend their screen time on your phone in the middle of the night last night?
No, they can't do that.
Okay.
Our son tried to do that Saturday night because he needed to send something on Depop, and it's 12:05. And Claire is up in our room.
Yeah.
She was like, her ear hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, get out of my room.
Amazing how so this is funny. So I forgot to tell you, this is where I caught Claire's bluff a little bit. And she was laughing. Her and I laughed a bunch last night. I went up and snuggled with her in her bed. And she's like, your hair has a smell to it. And what it was like the menthol on my face from getting a shave. And I was like, she's like, it smells interesting. Like there. And I was like, it's actually on my face, not my hair. And she's like, well, I don't know. I can't smell anything. And I go, well, you just told me you could smell my hair. She's like, I'm confused. And I was like, you just read it yourself. You told me you can smell. There's nothing clogged there. What do you got? You got a cough, a sniff, and you can't smell? You got all of them. Congrats. And an ear thing?
Yeah, last night. 2 nights ago, it was ear.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Game operation is what it is. You got butterflies in your tummy. But anyway, so.
Anxiety.
The text was from Gloria. That said, Mommy, that's after I find your phone on the floor. Mommy, I can't sleep. I've been trying it all. Allegedly, according to Gloria, she had not slept. Now, that checks out. She had slept till 1 p.m., 2 p.m.
Yeah, she was sleeping in every day.
Yeah, and now we got to get back on school schedule. And, so I go back there. I kind of rub her back, and I was like, and she's like, okay, good night. She our little girl would still love a cuddle in bed. The other one's like, she's a teenage girl. She's like, get in my bed. I was like, yeah, I'm not in it. I'm rubbing your back. Good night. And I do think she got a little bit, but I did tell her, I was like, this just means you're going to have a tired day tomorrow. And this is actually probably good news because then you'll go to sleep at a reasonable hour. But
I thought she played like 2 hours of volleyball. I thought that might.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. If you sleep at 1 p.m., she's only been up 8-9 hours when it's time to go to bed. So anyways, so that gets resolved. And then Claire gets in our bed.
At 5.
What? Are you a wimp? Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I woke up at 5. Yeah.
But she did come in her bed, and then she went back to her own bed, and I'm like, this is a bad.
I transferred like her pillow and her blanket, and then transferred them back. I don't know.
It was quite a night.
For a while, I was in the middle. Did you know that?
I do.
She was in my cover.
She was in you were in the middle for a while, and then when she did go back to her bed, you had gotten accustomed to being that side of the bed, and you were really outside of your lane last night. Really outside your lane.
This is probably so boring.
No, I don't think so. Andy's smiling. If you think that Melissa, what do people relate to on our podcast more than sleeping and kids interrupting your sleep? That was the funny thing that Taylor texted me because tonight we're going to have dinner after, and she's like, hey, just FYI, I didn't get a great night of sleep. And I was like, well, I mean, on any given night, that's us. That's, we're with you.
At one point, I was like, yeah, you should go back to bed because we have to get up in an hour.
Yeah.
To Claire, and then you're like, no, 40 minutes. And I was like staring at the clock.
Yeah, I remember this.
And I was like, no, I'm going to fight you about 20 minutes.
Yeah, you were right, but I looked at it wrong.
And then I just like kept staring at the clock, and I was like, he might be right, whatever. I thought we were getting up at 6:30, but I could be wrong.
I treated myself to 6:44.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I also had to shower. I mean, if anybody watching... Like, wow, that's what Dustin's hair looks like.
Hat. Yeah.
No hat, no hair styling because I have to be on television today, and I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Are you going on television today?
Be on television tonight. Television.
Oh. That's, sorry, I have to go be on television.
Anyone over 35 might be impressed.
And only.
Yes. Anyways, guys, we got
television.
some
I have
things
to go on television
We got
tonight.
some things to promote. Mel's got to sell herself.
I would love.
Thanks for coming out to the shows in Syracuse this last weekend. Syracuse, we're going to talk. I'm going to tell. I got a lot of New York stuff to talk about. But before I do, upcoming shows. This Rutherford was last weekend. We're in the future now. So next headlining show, Cinco de Mayo. Because when you think Cinco de Mayo, you think this guy.
Yes.
May 5th, Hollywood Improv, Los Angeles, California. Then we go to Cheyenne, the Lincoln. It's a big room. They think they're going to sell some tickets there. But Ice Cube was just there. So it seems like a bigger name than me. But I might be bigger in Cheyenne. I don't know. Then we go to Fort Collins, Colorado. June, we're in May and June, Des Moines, Iowa. Into June, we go to Naples, Tampa, Dania Beach, San Diego. July is Rosemont, Chicago, Huntsville, Nashville, Fort Wayne, Indiana. August is Louisville. Atlanta is on sale now. 8/8, we're back at the Earl. I love that venue. Charleston, South Carolina, Asheville, Charlotte, Omaha, Houston, Addison. September is Tacoma, Milwaukee. October, Appleton, Wisconsin. Salt Lake City, Utah on sale now. And then the rest of the year is Raleigh, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Spokane. Couple more coming on sale, but not a lot more. I think of this 2024 year, I think the only other one going on sale is going to be Austin, I think. I don't know. That's not true because there's still a few weekends
There's a
left.
couple.
Oh, San Antonio's going on sale real quick. San Antonio is going to be 8/28, right before Houston. I'm hitting Texas. I like my Texas runs. I'm going to be out there with Nate in a couple weeks. Actually, I think right when this airs.
I think
I'm going to be at, I will be in San Antonio with Nate, and then Austin with Nate, and then on Tuesday, I'm doing 2 sets at Rogan's Club, the comedy mothership, and so because Brian Simpson has a show there. God, I love Brian so much, and it's he does 2 of them. So the mothership, we'll talk about this after the episode. It's 2 rooms. It's like it's called like Fat Boy and Little Boy or something like that. There's a big room and a. Okay. It's built a lot like the store in the sense the multiple rooms, but. Fat Boy and Little Guy. It's something like that. Look up the names of the rooms at Comedy Mothership. If you go to Comedy Mothership right now, it'll tell you. One of them, it's definitely Fat Man, Little Boy. I was right. They sounded like the wrong names, but they're. But anyway, so Brian has a riff show where they literally just give us topics and we riff on them. So it's called like Bottom of the Barrel. So
nice.
Yeah, I get to go see Derek and Hassan and Brian and my friends from St. Andrew Tar if he's there, Jeffrey Berner, my friends from San Diego that run the Austin comedy scene right now. So.
Love it.
Lots of dates coming up. Facebook group, you guys are above and beyond. I love you so much. We started the Facebook group, the Dustin Nickerson Comedy Fans, really because we know we have these thousands of backseaters out there, some who watch the pod, listen to the pod, watch the clips, do all the stuff. It's like, where can you guys go talk about things happening in the episode? Our moderators have done a great job in there. I post in there periodically. Melissa's always posting polls that she then deletes. It's a good time. Lots of inside jokes there. Here's one this is a thing I want to discuss of somebody that posted this in there.
Okay, this is Kristen Norton.
Kristen Norton here said, I love the hilarious recent show about traveling to Las Vegas with your kids. We did that for spring break about 15 years ago when I had read in a parenting magazine that Las Vegas is trying to change their image to family-friendly. That may have been out-of-date information. My husband had a conference to attend that aligned with spring break, so we stayed at the fancy hotel where this conference was. As you say, it had a great pool with a wave pool, and the kids loved it. And my 13-year-old son loved the bikinis. We did a rock hike, a helicopter ride, gifted to us by my dad, to see the Grand Canyon, and a road trip to the Hoover Dam. But the funniest thing was the parenting magazine had suggested the pirate show at the Treasure Island Hotel. The magazine must have been an old issue because when we got there, the hotel was now named T.I., and the pirate show was a bunch of sexy pirates who looked like Chippendales dancers being lured away from pirating by women in lingerie who look like Victoria's Secret models. This sounds like an episode of Arrested Development is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
We were so embarrassed that we were standing there with our 9 and 11-year-olds. No other kids were there, of course. I have a suggestion that you might try sometime. The Atomic, as in Atom Bomb Museum. I know it sounds freaky, but it was fascinating for my son and my husband, who both love history. I remember I searched diligent for family-friendly things to do, and it was difficult to find any back then. I wondered how any parents who live there managed to do field trips or outings with their kids, because I really didn't find many options. Thus, the Atomic Museum. Thanks for keeping me laughing. I love your show. I saw you open for John Chris one time in Atlanta and then started listening to your podcast back then. I have to prefer the current format of the podcast with you bantering with Melissa. She has the best and most contagious laugh. With that laugh, she was destined to marry a comedian. There you go. That's really nice.
So nice.
That's what I like about the Facebook. You want some more of that?
No.
Kill it.
I don't.
Do it.
I don't want that.
Do it.
I don't want your coffee.
Slurp it. Slurp it. Oh, this terrible audio, but anyways. Slurp it real good.
How do
Guys,
I...
I'm just getting loose for television. It's got to be on my riffiest.
This is a warm-up.
My riffiest riffs. Okay, so Facebook group, you guys are great. When does the Patreon hang?
It's the last Stop. It's the last Sunday in April.
The last Sunday of all time. It's the last one.
All right. April 28th at 5. It's not on my calendar.
Oh, no.
There it is. 5:30 p.m.
There you go. PST?
Yep.
Melissa, I am so excited about our new sponsor, Dillyco, because I've been trying to get you to play pickleball for decades. This is not an exaggeration. Mm-hmm. And now you're willing to play in part because of Dillyco. They make such great gear. You're wearing it right now. What do you like about their gear, Mel?
It's comfortable.
So comfortable right now. I love it so much. It's a good fit.
Yeah, it's a good fit. It's good for everyone, young and old, and I'm ready.
It is very
uncomfortable, so which I'm going to do something I'm uncomfortable doing.
Great.
And I'm going to give it a go.
And the gear helps. It is very hard to make pickleball or really any sport like gear that is good for everybody. Like all levels of skill, ability, body type, comfort level on the court. And Dillyco has done it. All this stuff is great.
Gear.
Yeah, it's great gear. They've got shirts. They've got some of their gear is really great. I really like their paddles. Specifically, I like the paddles because they're they're accessible. They're great paddles. Like they're officially pickleball approved, but they're not like too much. You don't want to be the person doing too much on the court. So if you guys go check out their website, thedillyco.com, and you use promo code backseater, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. So check it out. Go check out all their great gear, and we will see you on the court.
That's right.
In your Dillyco gear. Dillyco!
Dillyco.
It's fun to say. It's very fun to say. Yeah. I was in New York a bunch. So Wednesday and Thursday, I went to New York. Did a couple shows. Little spots here and there, went and hung out at the Cellar. It was a good time. I was at Gotham. I love Gotham Comedy Club. It's so much. It's right in Chelsea, which is great.
Sneeze.
Lost it. Dang it. Oh, man. I really thought I had that one.
Fish. Fish. That's like a thing people say when they get people to stop a sneeze.
Oh. I don't know that reference.
Someone did that to me once, and I was just told that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. I'd already lost it, but next time. There was an earthquake in New York, and I did not notice. And I was awake.
Where were you?
I was in Brooklyn at the time, staying at Graham Kay's house. Lovely Canadian man. Just so kind, so funny. We had a great time. He wasn't having any drinks, which in Canadian is a few drinks.
Really?
He's so accommodating. So he was like, well, you're having a couple. So we had a couple beers. And then we went back and we went and watched Dave Attell's special. And he's like, do you want a Moscow Mule? And I was like, yes. So we had a couple mules.
Oh, my.
Just two mules having some mules.
Mules with Graham?
Mules and mules. We're the mules in that metaphor.
I just like Mules with Graham, like that works.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a podcast.
Yeah, he has a drink or like a combo that I've named after him, which was I call it the Gramo. I'd never had it before until I had my birthday at a gay bar with him in Rockford, Illinois, which we've told this story on here before. But we were on the road. We were both opening for Nate. We were in Rockford, Illinois. I was turning 38. And he
was like, we're going to celebrate you.
Yeah, the only bar that was open was a gay bar in Rockford, Illinois. And so we went and hung out there, which was also a karaoke bar. We did not sing. Most people thought we were a couple, which was fine. And he likes to sip the champagne of beers, Miller High Life, which is a great beer. It's a really great beer, and a shot of Jameson, which just works. So that's been called the Gramo. And what we went to his little bodega, and I wanted a little snack, and I got like some. You know me, I like
peanuts,
like a sweet
nut.
Like a honey roasted one or something like that in that vein, or like a.
You told me I can't buy those anymore.
Yeah, they're so bad for
you. Do not keep these in the house.
Yeah. A sweet honey roasted or anything in that, a candied
pecan.
Oh my god, a candied nut or a sweet nut. And a Moscow Mule. Oh my! It's the Dustino, is what he called it. So we have
that is nice.
A little harder to come by, my pairing. Yeah, but it was a great time. So it's hard to notice an earthquake in New York because that town always shakes. It's always loud and shaky at all times. So I didn't notice it. But then I went to Syracuse. Syracuse are lovely people. I had a great time. I was there for 48 hours or whatever. Easy airport. Crowds were great. 2 of the 3 shows were incredible. Late show Saturday was comped and a little bit of work, but they were tired and wrote a couple new bits. I had a good time. I'd love it. Thank you, Syracuse, for coming out. Claude was there. Claude, who you came out in Buffalo, told us you gotta get the hash browns from Dunkin'. He was right. Pretty tasty. That mall there, okay, pull up the Destiny USA Mall in Syracuse. Have I told you about this mall yet?
Well, Claude did. He said there was 2 comic book stores in there.
Yeah, Newberry Comics, which I'm representing right now. Destiny Mall, Destiny Mall USA. There it is, right here.
Yeah, I'm never,
the first thing.
Second.
Yeah, right there. Melissa, this is not.
I've never been to Syracuse.
What do you want to see, images or the site?
Let's go to site.
Did they shoot Wonder Woman in that mall?
This is unbelievable. This is not a mall. This is like the
wildest.
It's a
mall website I've ever seen.
You see the orchestra is coming to the mall.
Got an orchestra.
This is not a freaking mall. Like there's a mall.
Center.
There's also an outlet mall within the mall. There's a totally second outlet mall.
They got a lot of stuff.
Melissa, they have a Margaritaville. They have a Dave & Buster's. They have a full go-kart track. In there. Melissa, they have a trampoline warehouse in there. And that's separate from the other arcade in there. It's crazy. It's not...
You could be there for days.
You have to be there for days just to get out. And they also have a comedy club, of course. The Funny Bone in Syracuse. I mean, it's... crazy the amount of things that they have there that are not just stores. Like
so it's kind of a mix of an outlet.
They have a Hobby Lobby in the mall. They have a Dick's in the mall. Like the Hobby Lobby, I've never even heard of a Hobby Lobby in a mall. So they pretty much take all the things
all the strip mall stuff and put it in the mall.
Exactly. So I had a good time.
An escape room.
Yes, of course, right. The mall is the escape room. It's getting out of it. So it's kind of the central spot. So where I was at, we were at the hotel, and we can walk right over. I walked over to Blue Cafe, which was great, and got a little coffee situation, and then we could do a little river walk to the mall. Fantastic. People crap on Syracuse. It's just a normal place. I don't know, maybe people only inside the comedy community know how people crap on it, but I liked it. So I had a great time, and I cannot for the life of me avoid volleyball teams. We are in travel volleyball season. 80% of the hotels I'm staying at right now have volleyball. You know what the worst part about the volleyball team is?
The parents?
No. Well, yes, that is true. Well, the parents are all getting hammered at night, by the way. That's so funny. Like, because I'm like, why is this bar so... Oh, yes, that's why. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think volleyball parents are the worst.
No. None of them are worse than the others, but maybe gymnast. Cheer.
Maybe.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
The hard thing
Dance
about
Moms. They made a whole reality show about that.
Yeah, that's true. The hard thing about staying at a hotel with a sports team is all the doors start slamming around 6:30 a.m. Just your entire hallway, just gong, 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 gong.
Well,
You're like,
kids just slam doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're up early.
Right.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning, because, they got to go.
They got to go. So it's
the
definitely,
tournament.
yeah. But my favorite thing about Syracuse is cash is still king out there, baby. 80% of my merch is paid with cash. Love that. Cash is king.
Sweet.
I like to think it comes from a good distrust from the government. That's what I like. Like, nobody knows about this. And I'm like, no, they don't.
There are some old employees at some thrift stores around our house, and they tell our son
Yes,
that
yes,
cash
yes,
is
yes,
king.
yes.
And he's 16 with the debit card on his phone.
Yeah.
And they're like, cash is king.
It is funny. They're essentially saying, they're telling him they'll
lower the price.
They'll
if
lower
it
the
is
price
cash.
if you pay cash.
And he's like, I'm 16. I don't, what's
What
cash?
is this cash you speak of? And I tell my son, don't have cash. Don't be robbable. Just have that $1,000 cell phone in your pocket nobody would want.
Yeah.
It's all very robbable. So,
well,
anyways, thank you guys for coming.
Run,
We had
so
a great.
That's good.
He can run.
Run away.
He's very. I had this thought, and I was walking around New York, and the Sinatra line, right, is about New York. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, and that is not true. New York is a remarkably convenient place to live.
Yeah.
Everything is so accessible.
You don't need a car.
You don't need a car. You don't even need a license.
Around every corner.
The public transportation is unmatched. Best public transportation system in America. Easy. I mean, it's expensive, but lots of places are expensive.
Yeah.
I can't think of a much easier place to live in than New York, actually. It's everything, like the accessibility to resources, it's all right there.
Yeah,
lots of jobs.
You just need like a bed and a shower.
Yeah, nobody cares if you have a small place. That's kind of like an expected thing, I don't know. I don't get it. Because it's loud.
The crowds. Yeah.
Have you not been to other cities? Here's New York is just a bigger version of every city. So when you're in the heart of New York, you're like, this is like everywhere else. It's in the heart of a downtown. It just goes on longer.
I don't think most people live in cities like downtowns.
Yes.
So that's...
Well, not so much anymore, but more. Yeah. It is the most amount of people that live in a dense area, which does take getting some used to. It does take some getting used to. Like I stayed at Graham's and he's like, here are the keys. And there were 3 keys. And he's like, this is for the first door, this is for the second door, and then this is for my door. And I was like, okay, because he left the second night. I had spare keys, and his dad had lost his other spare keys the week before. And so I had the new keys, and every door is different, man.
You got to get some good spare keys.
Yes.
There's bad spare keys, and there's good spare keys.
This is a good life lesson right here.
All I do is make spare keys. Between you, your dad, the teens.
Uh-huh.
I got a lot of spare keys.
Well,
and I got a good key place.
Yeah.
I do not get Home Depot spare keys.
No. 3/5 of your home is ADHD. You better have some spare keys.
Uh-huh.
You better have some backup keys, because I don't know where my keys are right now.
And then you got to put the new batteries in the air tags for the keys. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on top of that.
No, I'm not. But
well, what Graham's situation is on this door.
One door this way, one door this way.
So you got to go through 2 doors to get in the building. And Graham's adorable. He'd be like, okay, so the smooth key's going to get in here, and then the jagged one's going to get you in here, and then the flat one's going to get you here. I was like, every key is smooth, flat, and jagged. Every key has all those 3 qualities to them.
So you're doing 3 keys in 3 doors.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Boom, boom, and then boom, boom.
But trying all 3 keys per door.
And as everybody knows, every door opens differently. There's no universal door opening situations, but you got your feel at your house. Everybody knows their So the first one or two I kind of figure out. One of them kind of looks like a little more of industrial of a key. I was like, I bet this is the one to outside, and then this one. So I get there, but now I don't know how to get it. Oh, so left is unlock, universally, right? Like usually a lefty loosey. It's just like left is unlock, and that is true. That is how you unlock that door. But in this one, the way you open that door is full turn right, and then some doors are like this, and then you kind of turn it a little more, and the door pops open. Like the lock twists the handle.
A push kind of.
Tell your guests that, Graham. Now, Graham's a sweetheart. He let me stay at his house for 2 days. Graham didn't do anything wrong, but
you almost slept in the hallway.
The important thing is I forgot about apartment living, so I'm on his phone. I'm calling him in the middle, talking way too loud because I've never lived in apartments. And the guy from across the hall opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, man, could you shut the up?"
This is in Brooklyn?
Yes. Because it was midnight, and this guy's trying to sleep, and I'm trying to get in it. By the way, he didn't try and be
help
like, "Are you breaking into this guy's?" That's what Graham said. He's like, "Why didn't he help you?"
You're one of Graham's degenerate friends.
Yeah. Yes. This is where I couldn't make it in New York. Is people are very mean. But I got into it for 1 second. Not with that guy. Earlier in that day, I was walking from the High Line back to Merritt's apartment, and I'm walking, and I'm going across a crosswalk. And a woman, there's no line, and there's a woman kind of comes straight at me, and I don't have anywhere to go, and she's on her phone. She's looking down. And I, kind of get right to the moment in front of her, and I kind of give her one of these. Like, what in the world?
Yeah, look up.
Look up, and I was like, look, I give her one of those. And then she's like a tiny little Asian woman. And then she gets mad immediately at me. And I'm walking away, and I just hear behind me, like, "You asshole!" And I was like, "What?" And I never looked back. I was instantly terrified.
So maybe you can't make it in New York.
I'm sorry, I have manners.
They're hostile.
They're a quickly hostile. That's what it is they're so... New York people have such intense living circumstances that they'll get mad at you so quickly. And
they're abrasive.
They are very abrasive. It's very culturally.
And SoCal, we're not.
No. It's not the vibes, bro.
Yeah.
No, what we also are. Bro. Happier. Also, it's more expensive here. I told that to Graham. I was like, we're number one now. He's like, there's no way. There's no way. And he looked it up. And he's like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, you guys aren't the most expensive place anymore, man. Because you don't have to live in these cities anymore,
Right.
Anyways, I had a good time. Thanks for people that came out to the shows in Syracuse.
And you did get in Graham's apartment?
I did get into Graham's apartment. Thank you. I slept on a futon. But he put a mattress pad on it.
Well, that's nice.
It was nice. It was the most you can ask from a single dude. It's
to host you.
We have 2 things left.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so we have a Reddit that I want to discuss with you, Mel. Another it's not an Am I the A-hole, but this one's even better. This is on the family Reddit thread. Ready? Okay, here we go. Pull it up, buddy.
There's a family Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nephew treats my wife like
Okay.
Somebody posted this and they want feedback. My nephew, nearly 8, has been treating my wife, 33, like most of his life. She is his biological aunt. I came into the picture when he was 2. I notice it a lot, but most of the treatment gets displayed one-on-one when they're alone playing. My wife tries to be fun and engaging and gets a lot of attitude and snark in response. Keeps going.
Okay.
We spent the weekend all together. When we split up to drive home separately, nephew hugged everyone goodbye except her. Ignored her existence. I remember being his age and being moody towards my aunt. I think it has to do with the dynamics of their relationship. She's not a friend, not an authority figure, so he treats her however he feels that moment. My question is, anybody have experience with this kind of thing? I know the information is bare, but without going into years of our family history, I wanted to test the waters. Feel free to ask any questions or just advice if you have any.
That's not enough information. You need to clarify.
Oh, we don't need to read the other comments. Yeah. So I want to hear your thoughts on this, Mel. Keep it up. First off,
okay.
I don't remember being moody towards my aunt. Was anybody moody towards their aunt? I think
no.
Okay, so
well, not that I remember.
Yeah. I have. Go ahead. Oh, you want me to go first? You go first, because I have a theory.
Okay, well, I don't remember. Actually, I was going to say I don't remember my aunts playing with me.
Right.
In my family, my aunts were a lot younger.
Yeah.
So they didn't have kids yet.
Right.
And so they were either just like, they've got a condo.
Yes.
And I'm sleeping on the couch.
Right.
So this is all fun. And they have like a bowl of nuts or something. Like, something that parents don't have.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, my God, get some M&Ms out. Hell
yeah, exactly. So it was just there's so much novelty.
Yeah.
That I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have children.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did have children, I was just like carrying their kids around and like teaching them how to walk and stuff. So like I wasn't playing with them. I was playing with their kids.
Yes.
Their little kids. So
you were a babysitter then.
I was a mini babysitter.
So you guys had, the whole time, you had a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yes.
That you, at first, aunt was good to you.
Was fun and young.
Young and fun aunt.
No kids.
And now you're a babysitter, and aunt got to cash in on that goodwill that she earned.
So it was just win-win.
Yes.
So I don't think I was an a-hole to my aunt.
No.
And I don't understand that dynamic.
Here's my theory. My theory, and I'm reading. I'm reading.
But I do have a theory too.
Okay, my theory is that this is a childless aunt.
Yes.
Who misunderstood what the niece, nephew, aunt, uncle relationship is like. I think she expects that to be very warm, and I'm your aunt, and isn't this great, and I love you, and we're so close, and and that doesn't exist. That's
friends.
Very rare that a child has like a lot of warm affection and love. So I think she's viewing this kid's apathy, which is like, that's what you are.
Her partner is viewing the apathy.
I think the wife and the aunt and the uncle here are viewing this child's apathy towards them as like attitude.
And it should be reciprocal.
No, and they just don't realize this kid just doesn't care about you. They're not being mean. You don't care about your aunts and uncles a lot.
Just a character in my family.
You're just a rando adult who's here every once in a while, unless you come in hot and heavy. Like, you've got to earn it as an aunt and an uncle. Like, I was close to my Uncle Mike because I rode on the back of his motorcycle. So we were close. Like, I was
fun,
close.
Fun uncle.
Yeah, my Uncle Butch, who raised me, like, we were close because he always had peanut M&Ms around and Almond Joys. Old school candies, both. My Aunt Leslie, love her to death. Love her to death. Always gave me cool haircuts because she's
hairdresser.
A hairdresser.
Take you to the fair.
She'd take me to the fair. Aunt Leslie, great. I can't even name my other aunts. That's how. But Aunt Leslie, so I'm telling you.
Yeah, so there's like a background aunt, and then there's like a fun
There
aunt.
is always a main character aunt. And you gotta, that's who you're in.
But you have to put the work in.
Yes.
My theory was that this partner of the aunt is jealous.
Ooh.
Because they don't have kids, and this aunt is doing a lot, with the playing and stuff.
Right.
And they're jealous because they don't have kids, so they don't know that that's part of it.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
So they're expecting this kid to be like generous and grateful, and he's a kid.
He's a kid. I just don't think you realize that, like, Like, we have our kids, and, they're not close to, they are, like, they know their aunts and uncle. It takes a lot. You have to really foster an aunt-uncle relationship. You have to be around constantly. And you almost have to be like a grandparent. You're a young grandparent. To be a great aunt or uncle, you have to be a young grandparent and just spoil and give them candy and then maybe a beer too young.
It's not easy. It's not easy to win a child to your side.
For that child to really like you.
Takes a lot.
And you have to do so much goodness to that the parents might not actually like how much you're doing for them. That's what it takes.
You have to cross boundaries.
You have to
with the parents to become the good
just a
aunt
tip
or uncle.
Just a tip. I would not
overdo it.
And I'll tell you this. This is the number one rule of parenting is don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about them. Don't get on the roller coaster.
Right,
if that kid doesn't, whatever that kid, like if you're looking for something out of that kid to fill you up, that's about you too. So no kid is ever going to validate you ever, especially
the way you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, with that said, can we have a fourth? Because I still got some.
Fill some.
Is that healthy? All right, that's it. We did a full episode. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. I got to go be on TV.
Hey, folks, we want to give a special shout-out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. Those are the top tier, baby. The best of the best, the $25 a month and up patrons. So thank you so much for supporting the podcast. We love you and appreciate you so much. First off, Averill Griffiths.
Adam Bush.
Allison Nelson.
Bonnie Galindo.
Brandon Schoenberger.
Carrie Teague.
Christopher Finland.
Code to Grow.
Courtney Eibling.
Damaris Diaz-Stevens.
Daniel Owens.
Dave and Melissa Cox.
Dave Hoagland.
Dustin Daly.
Jason and Francis White.
Jessica Hanherin.
Joshua and Nikki Platt.
Jordan Cowan.
Juliana Smith.
Lori Amos.
Matt and Sam Slosdom.
Michelle Calson.
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt.
Nicole Carose.
Rachel Wilson.
Robert and Nellie K. Penn.
Rachel Kennedy.
Stephen Nina.
Tiffany Payne. Thank you guys so much for your support. Bye.
Bye.